Hey guys and girls, welcome to another Sunday afternoon chat on a pretty cool Sunday afternoon. A north wind blowing about 10 or 15 miles an hour, 60 degrees. That's right, it's 60 degrees. That's all. You can see the cloud cover. We got no rain. We had got that one rain, 3.2 inch back about the 2nd or 3rd of October. We have no more rain forecast the next 15 weeks, so the drought is definitely back, not only continuing, but getting worse here in southern Oklahoma. We had a good week here at the ranch, though. Got down to 48 degrees this morning. It's supposed to get to 38 degrees tonight, 38 degrees. And I am fishing tomorrow. I'm fishing with my buddy Bill Epperds, world champion bow shooter from Ohio, and him and I have hunted and fished all over the world, but he'll be coming in here in the morning. Pat Turner, who runs my production company, will be coming down tomorrow, and we're shooting a television show tomorrow, and then shooting probably again Tuesday. Is supposed to be up in the 70s. Tomorrow's supposed to be about 62, 63, 64, something like that with some wind. So it'll probably be a fairly tough day fishing, but I believe we'll catch enough probably to get a good television show. If we can't catch them, I'll just let Bill shoot them. I don't know how you shoot and release, so I'm kind of worried about shoot and release bass. That might not work out too good. My bass might not want to play that game. But spent the week at the ranch with the exception. I left Friday morning about 5 o'clock in the morning, took off and went to Oklahoma City. And I guess it's maybe 4:30 in the morning and went to Oklahoma City. But to catch an early airplane up there, we got on the airplane in plenty of time, had no problem whatsoever. Getting ready to take off, getting ready to back away from the gate, and the agent, the pilot, come on there and said, we have a little software problem. It's no big deal at all. They've got people coming to take care of it. They will take care of it in just a few minutes. We'll be on our way. Well, the moment he said that, I realized already, but I knew that already, but I realized that my 1 hour, you can't call it a layover when it's only an hour, but my 1 hour time I had to connection in Denver, Colorado to go to Kalispell was in danger. And first thing I did, honestly, I started praying. I said, Lord, please let me make it to Kalispell somehow. I don't know if this plane's going to get me there in time to get on that plane, but somehow let me get to Kalispell, Montana. We had that big Flathead Beast Feast that night, and over 2,000 people there, a tremendous crowd. Had it out to fairgrounds. Didn't even have it at Veneration Church, but had it out to fairgrounds. And so I just started praying. The next thing I did was I called Sherry and let her know we were delayed. And I said, I don't think I'm going to catch that airplane. If it get out of here pretty quick, I can, but I know how they do. They always tell you this will be about a 10-minute delay, and sometimes it works into 10 hours or 15 hours or overnight staying in the airport. And this one could only last about an hour at the most. And probably if then I wouldn't be able to catch the airplane. But so I told Sherry to look at ways maybe that I could go from Denver to somewhere else, or I could change to a different airline in Denver and still get to Kalispell. And but the 10 minutes turned into an hour, and we were exactly just about an hour late, just a shade over. And when I got to Denver, once we got to Denver, here's the other thing that happens. It just blows my mind. They don't know you're coming. That airport doesn't know you're coming. They don't know that airplane's going to fly from Oklahoma City to Denver. And so when you get there, somebody's parked at your gate. That's right. It's kind of like when you go to the mall or you go to to a ball game or something. They don't know you're coming, so all the parking spots somebody else is taking. And so all the parking spots at Denver was taken, and we couldn't park our airplane. I kind of thought, with maybe the airplane, maybe the airline industry needs to use AI. Maybe they need to use AI. And that way they could figure out and know that there was an airplane flying from Oklahoma City to Denver. It needed a place to park when it got there. But we sat there for 25 minutes waiting to get a deal. So my plane left, no doubt about it. As soon as I got there, I asked the flight attendant, and she told me that we were coming in B. We had to move to A. That's about a mile walk plus a train ride to get over to A. As soon as I got off, I took off over there just in case. I didn't see any monitors until I got almost over there to the A gates, and when I saw the monitor, Kalispell wasn't up there. It wasn't up there at all. There wasn't any other Kalispells up there either. So that airplane had taken off, and I called Sherry, and what Sherry had found, and she told me before we left Oklahoma City, was a Delta airline. I was not on Delta. I was on another airline. Won't mention what airline that was, but I was on another airline, and she said there's a Delta from Salt Lake City to Kalispell. They'll get you there at 5:15 this evening. I was supposed to get there about 1 or 1:30 and get you there at 5:15 this evening. I said, fine, book me on that. And she said, well, there's a little problem with that. There's no seats. That plane is totally sold out. There's no seats available. And because I knew that Salt Lake City from Denver is a flight flying about every hour, not necessarily the same airline, but a flight flying about every hour. And so I called Luke Taylor. Luke Taylor is the preacher there at Veneration Church in Kalispell. And Luke moved out there and started this church 3 years ago. They are having over 500 people come to church on Sunday there. He started from scratch. They have over 500 people coming to that church. That's what kind of job Luke Taylor is doing. So if any of y'all are around out there, Kalispell, Montana, and you're looking for a church, or you don't go to church and you need a church, or you got a church that's maybe you're not really getting what you want out of the gospel and out of your relationship with Jesus, you might consider Veneration with a V, Veneration Church. Luke told me they meet in a gymnasium. They don't really even have a formal church building yet. They meet in a generation. 2 services, I think 9 o'clock and 11 o'clock, and they have over 500 people. It's just absolutely amazing. He's just done a remarkable work serving God there in Kalispell, Montana. Incredibly beautiful country, incredibly beautiful people. And by the way, when I found out that plane was going to be late, and immediately started praying before I even texted Sherry and told her to work on the problem, just want to tell you, that's how God works in your life and my life. God is always available. He's always available to talk to pray to lay our problems at the foot of the cross, because he's put his Holy Spirit inside of us. With his Holy Spirit inside of us, we can communicate with him any time of the day or night. Any time of the day or night. Any type of situation or circumstance we have that we want supernaturally changed, that's the way to do it. That's the way to do it. Keep in mind, the Delta plane from Salt Lake City to Kalispell is totally sold out. So I get back with Sherry again. She is on the phone for over an hour with the original airline I was flying on. She said the agent that I'm working with now is a little bit more helpful. She said the first one was really bad and was not very helpful, was not very friendly, and was definitely not concerned about my problem. Not concerned about whether I got to Kalispell or not. Didn't bother that agent a bit about that. But the second agent, Sherry said, was a lot better, and they were working on it. And she said, I'm just trying to figure out somewhere what you can do. And I'm in Denver. And so I head back over to my original gate, which is NA, and I get over there close. And she calls me and says, or sends me a text, I can't remember which, and that I think I might somehow have gotten you a seat on that airplane. I said, I thought it was sold out. It is sold out. It was sold out, but it's not sold out now. And I can get you a seat on that airplane if we can get there. And I said, well, which terminal do I need to be in, A or B? And this moved changing over to Delta. She said, I can't get the agent to prove the credit to do it, and I think they're just trying to stall time in order to make me miss that particular plane, and that way I'll have to fly like the next day or something to Kalispell, which I couldn't do. I just have to turn around and come back to Oklahoma. And but so she said, I can just go ahead and buy you a ticket and fight about the money later. I said, well, do that. So she bought me a ticket from Denver to Salt Lake City on to Kalispell. And I got to fly on a plane that was 100% totally sold out. No seats available to sell. They wouldn't sell them. And yet they did. Sherry told me, she said, I'll fight with the other airline after we, I'll do that later on. And I told her, I said, well, I wouldn't want to fight with you over money. So I think she probably will somehow be able to get some of our money back that we spent, the additional money we spent. She should be able to get all of it back. And my guess is she'll probably do it. They actually ought to pay me something for missing the plane in the first place, for being late. And by the way, it was late leaving Kalispell, going back to Denver, back on the original airline. That was late too. So, but I did make that connection in Oklahoma City, in Denver to get to Oklahoma City. Got to Oklahoma City on time. But anyway, so this is how God works. God somehow opened up me a seat on that airplane. I don't know how it happened. I don't know if somebody canceled a seat, somebody didn't show up or whatever. But I got on that airplane, got to Kalispell, Montana at 5:15, and it made it. So I guess I just tell you, if you're a saved, born again Christian, if Jesus Christ is your Savior, if you're saved, if you're a Christian, when you have a circumstance come up, even if it's not a big deal, God's not worried about whether I get to Kalispell, Montana or not. Can I tell you He is? Can I tell you He is concerned about it? You know why He's concerned about it? Because I was concerned about it. Because Luke Taylor, the preacher there, was concerned about it. Because Cherry, my daughter, was concerned about it. That's several Christians that's going to be concerned about it. And once we got there that night, over 2,000 people show up. Over 2,000 people show up at that Flathead Beast Feast. And we just had lots of food. We had music, a great evening. I visited with hundreds of people, signed autographs and hats, and hugged babies and kissed wives. Kissed babies and hugged wives. I think I did probably kiss a wife or two also, But I'm telling you, it was just a tremendous event. We had, like I said, great music. Luke and I got to both speak, and the main deal and the whole deal about this, and the reason God made me a seat that I could fly on that airplane, that Delta plane from Salt Lake City to Kalispell, was there was a lot of people saved that night. Almost 100 people saved that night. Saved, gave their life to Jesus Christ, repented of their sins, asked God to come into their heart and save them. Jesus can't be just in your mind. You can't just believe in Jesus. You'll have to. You can't believe that Jesus existed. You have to believe in Jesus. You have to believe that Jesus is the Christ, the Son of God, rose from the grave to cover our sins. But when you do that, He puts the Holy Spirit inside of you, and He will do things like that. And in my mind, I'm thinking, God is not concerned about whether I have a seat on an airplane or not. But He is. He is, because He loves me. He loves me so much that He sent His Son to die for me so I could spend eternity forever with Him. We are living in the land of the dying here as we walk through this earth, going to the land of the living, which is either heaven or hell. God loved me enough that He made a provision where I could go to heaven. So something like finding an open seat on an airplane is easy for God. It's easy for God. There's no such thing as impossible for Him. But we got there that night. We had a great evening. Luke Taylor is a friend of mine, Gary Schwartz, down in Texas, a friend of his son-in-law. And I met Luke's mother and father, and we just had a great time out there. I met so many great people. Actually, some people out there that used to live on Lake Tenkiller that now live in Montana came to that event and visited with lots and lots and lots of fishermen. They have an outdoor mecca out there. They have great fishing, great hunting. They've got deer. They got more turkeys than just about anybody in the whole nation. And the girls hunt just like the guys hunt out there, and it's just absolutely fantastic. What a wonderful evening we had. And God made a way when there wasn't a way to get me there. And Luke took care of me great. His church, Veneration Church, started 3 years ago, has over 500 people show up every Sunday morning for him. And they have their church in a gymnasium. They don't even have a formal church yet. Right now, he's just concerned with doing God's work out there and finding people that are lost and saving them. Just like that night there, we had, almost 100 people get saved. So it was absolutely fantastic. Getting off of that deal, I want to mention that we were going to be at Idlewild Baptist Church down in Tampa, or near Tampa, Florida, next Saturday night at a men's night out. They have postponed that event. Almost said canceled. I guess they did cancel it, but they really haven't totally canceled it. They postponed that event. I think they have a new pastor, and they had some conflicts in schedule that I guess that the church didn't communicate with everybody else. I've seen that happen in many, many instances and everything that I do, where even in our little bitty company, sometimes we don't communicate with each other. But they had a scheduling conflict with the facility or something, and so we will not be at Idlewild. So if you're planning on coming to Idlewild Church for men's night out on next Saturday night, the 21st, or next Saturday, I think it was a day event, all day and probably that evening as well, maybe in total weekend. But anyway, that event's been postponed. We'll be having that event later on. I do have an event coming up at Southern Hills Baptist Church in Oklahoma City, Southern Hills Church in Oklahoma City. I'll be there Monday night, November 13. Monday night, November 13. And we're really looking forward to that event. That's going to be a great event. It's always great when I can have it. We do something right here in Oklahoma where all I have to do is drive to. I don't have to worry about missing airplanes or connections or anything like that. If I can keep it in between the ditches, as we say here in Oklahoma, if I can keep it in between the ditches, I'll be there at Southern Hills. I think that event starts about 5:30 or 6 o'clock in the evening. That is on a Monday night, November 13th. Not Friday the 13th, like this event was this month, but next month in November, I guess that'd be about the second Monday probably in November. November 13th at Southern Hills. They're going to have a great night there. It'll be great. I probably will take my beautiful Chris up there with me that night, and so she'll get a chance to go and has to listen to me again. But we should have a great time that night. If you are anywhere close to Oklahoma City, be sure and be there that night. I've got a great week planned this next week. We've got cold weather. Tomorrow the high is going to be around 60 or 62 or 3, but I've got my buddy Bill Eppards coming in. Bill Eppards is like a 4 or 5 time, I think 4-time champion, world champion bow shooter. He's an archery expert. He's a great hunter. I hunt with him all the time. He's actually coming to Oklahoma to deer hunt. He's not hunting here at my ranch. He's hunting up at Buffalo Creek. A really great friend of mine, a place I've hunted quite a few times, Joel Alexander. Joel and his dad's got a great operation up there in Oklahoma. They got great turkey hunting in the spring, great deer hunting in the fall. And Bill has been hunting with Joel for years and years and years. Actually, even though Joel's from Oklahoma, I met Joel through Bill. And Joel's become a real good friend. His parents are just really great people, farmers up there, just great people. But Bill's going to come, and him and I are going to fish tomorrow, try to do a television show. So we'll be talking a little bit about archery, and I'll see if I can't get Bill to give you a few archery tips, telling you some things to do that will really kind of help you. Bill shoots for PSE, the same company that I shoot for. And PSE just makes a wonderful bow, tremendous equipment, all kinds of archery equipment. But I'll be fishing with Bill Monday, and I think he's bringing a friend or two with him to hunt. Probably be fishing with one of those on a Tuesday. I think he's got another world champion that's coming with him too. But we're going to have a great time. And I've got some friends coming Wednesday. Actually, I got a couple of buddies coming Wednesday, and we'll probably fish after we get our work done. But I've got Stan Neal coming down. Stan is with Kurt's Trailer Hitches. A lot of you are familiar with Kurt Trailer Hitches. That's the trailer hitches I've run for ever since that company started in the business, and they make the best trailer hitches out there to pull your boat by. They are making a deal now called a tire link, and you put it on your trailer tires on your trailer, whether you have 2 trailer tires or 4 trailer, and I've got dual, so I got four tires back there. And it registers your air pressure in each tire and your heat in each tire. So if your tire starts heating up or it gets low, when it starts getting low is usually when it starts heating up. It'll alert you of that, and you can pull over there and air that tire up or put your spare on without having a flat and tearing up a $300 tire. Or worse than that, if you're pulling a fiberglass boat, if you have a flat tire back there and you don't know you've had it, and it's really difficult sometimes. Sometimes you can't see your tires real well pulling, and sometimes you can't ever see the back tire of the two, and that's usually the one that does go flat when that happens. But that tire link lets you, it monitors and it gives you a warning if that's happening. You can pull over the side of the road to check it out, put some air back in it with a little a portable air pump that you plug up to your car or plug up to your boat. Or you can put your spare tire on, and save you the cost of a tire, because once it goes flat, it's going to ruin pretty quickly. But I've seen many boats burn up on the side of the highway. A fiberglass boat burns, boy, they burn good. They really burn. And I've seen them burn up, and they burn up because of a tire going out and getting hot and catching a fender on fire or catching the boat itself on fire. And once it gets on fire, it's really hard to put them out. It goes out. So this tire link they have, and Stan's going to come down, and I asked him to come down because he'd run them on his boat already. I want to make sure we get it installed right and have some professional here with me, as we'll do a DIY on installing that. It's very easy to install, they tell me, but I want to make sure I can ask him questions. He can answer them, that questions like you might ask about that tire link. But a Kurt's Tire Link, it's a brand new product, and it's going to be fantastic. Stan's going to come down. We're going to do that this week. And then also another buddy of mine's coming down, Christian Corley. Christian owns a company called YOLOTech, YOLOTEK, YOLOTech. And they have developed quite a few things, quite a few tools to help you in videoing while you're fishing, to help you video your fish catch, deals that you can wear on you where you can video, but mostly that you attach to your boat. Like, you can put in your back light socket, a pole you can put in your back light socket that you can put your GoPro camera up on. And he's invented a new one. They've developed a new one that they're just now getting out on the market. He's not sure he'll have one with him, but he hopes he does, that actually attaches to your front gimbal mount where your locator is. So you can have a pole coming up in the front that's shining right at you while you're fishing out there. And you know that I've been talking about going out and just fishing maybe 2 or 3 hours, and maybe trying to do that as often as I can. I'd like to do it every day, but do that maybe a time or two a week, and where we don't have all of our camera equipment out there and professional cameramen shooting, just me out there fishing, doing what I would do just for the fun of it, and that's all I'm going to be doing. But take that video on a GoPro camera and then stick that video up on our Jimmy Houston Fishing channel. Our Jimmy Houston Fishing on YouTube's only got about 90 some odd hundred people. Should go over 10,000 pretty quick. We spun that channel off of our original Jimmy Houston Outdoors channel, which I think's got about 120 some odd thousand on it. And that's the ranch channel where we have the deer and the pecans and the things that we do at the ranch. And by the way, we are taking orders for pecans. We've got lots of orders in this week. We will start shaking the trees here pretty quickly. We'll shoot some video of that if we can as well, but our trees are loaded. It's going to be a bumper crop. And we've already got some and tasted them ourselves, and they're fantastic. And so it'll be the best tasting pecans you ever got. Just go to jimmyhouston.com to order those pecans. We are keeping the prices the same as they've been the last couple of years, which is just about impossible to do the way everything's going up in prices. I just bought some diesel for the ranch the other day, and it was $3.76, and I got a 300 gallons of diesel. So that's and also a couple hundred gallons of regular gasoline too, delivered at the same time. I think it was $3.75. It's about a penny a gallon difference is all, but it costs a lot more to do everything nowadays. But we kept the price of the pecans the same as they've been the last couple of years. We might not be able to do that through the entire season, which will basically be just November, December, and maybe a week or two into January, because we sell most of our pecans to the processors, and we only ship out what y'all order here through jimmyhouston.com or our telephone number 918-457-5115. You can order by telephone as well. The other pecans, once we get through that where we can ship them out fresh, we sell all the pecans to the processors. So the pecans you get from us are fresh. They've never been frozen. These are fresh pecans right off the trees, never been frozen. That's the reason they taste so good. Never been frozen. And I've had people that have keep them, and somebody told me they just use their last bag. We sell them in 5 and 10 pound bags, custom cracked usually, where they're real easy to take the meat out of the shells, or just pecan halves. Either way, we sell them both ways. But I had somebody tell me they just used their last bag of pecans from last year, just used it this last week. So it's perfect that we're getting the pecans out. And they said they're just as good as ever. But I'm telling you, I didn't tell them that, but I don't think they remembered how good they were when they were fresh. Pecans still taste great, even if they've been frozen. But no pecans that you buy in a store or anywhere else are going to taste like what you get from us, because these are fresh, never frozen pecan. Be the best pecan that you've ever eaten. Absolutely the best pecan that you've ever eaten. So anyway, but y'all, back to the deal on Yellowtech. Hopefully we'll be able to he's going to maybe get me one of those mounts that fits up there, and we're going to get one of the latest GoPros. I think it's a GoPro 11 or 12, and where you can tell it to turn on, turn off, and hopefully I'll learn how to operate it, and we'll be able to get some good videos, and maybe just show you videos out there fishing an hour or two, maybe a couple hours a week. And that'll be over on the Jimmy Houston Fishing channel. And so if you're not subscribed to Jimmy Houston Fishing on YouTube, subscribe to that channel. I remember when we first got so excited about having 10,000 people on Jimmy Houston Outdoors YouTube. We were so excited about 10,000. And I thought we would get 10,000 just in a month or two on our Jimmy Houston Fishing channel once we broke that fishing off from our other channel. But it's been several months now, and we still just about to hit the 10,000, maybe another 200 or 300 people, or 300 or 400 people or something. But so be sure and subscribe to that channel. Make sure you subscribe to the Catch a Better Life channel as well, because that channel will change your life for the better, guaranteed. Guaranteed it'll do that, guaranteed. Stan Neal will be here, Christian Corley will be here, so it's going to be a great week. By Tuesday and Wednesday, it's going to be back up to 74, 75 degrees. Beautiful. Tomorrow's going to be at the only cool day, so we'll see what happens. We'll see how we attack that. We got a cold front come in. We're going to have north wind, so it'll be a little bit challenging tomorrow, but we'll see what happens. And we'll probably put some of that on the Jimmy Houston Outdoor Fishing channel too. It'll be actually on next year's television shows, which we just got approval to be back on ESPN next year, the first Saturday in January, maybe the last Saturday in December, where it may start, I'm not sure, for 26 weeks. We'll be on there 26 weeks, 7:30 Eastern Time, 7:30 Eastern Time on ESPN on a Saturday morning, 7:30. If you're in Central Time Zone, set your recorders to record that at 6:30 in the morning. And if you're further west where it's even earlier, well, you know how to do it. You know how to do all that. So it's going to be really cool. Those of you that are getting our newsletter, thank you so much. We've got over 10,000 people receiving our newsletter on the first of every month, absolutely free. If you want to get that newsletter, just go to jimmyhouston.com, and you have a place in there where they tell you how you sign up for that newsletter free. We email that newsletter to you on the first of every month. So the next one will come out November 1. It's got a lot of good deals in there and things you can get from people at great, Shell Rotella, get rebates on Shell Rotella. Great deals from O'Reilly Auto Parts, from Bass Pro Shop, on and on and on. So the newsletter is something you want to probably get involved with, and doesn't cost anything. We don't sell our names to anybody else. It's just something that, and all we need is your email address. Don't even need your address. You need your email address. We'll email that to you on the first of every month. It is absolutely the best newsletter out there in the fishing industry. There's just no doubt about it. It's very well done. My grandson Kyle does that. He does a remarkable job. Just a really, really, really good job. So make sure you're on all of our social media. Make sure you get ready for the new show starting on the 1st of January on Jimmy Houston Outdoors. We'll be on ESPN, as well as about a dozen other networks that are very, very good. You can go to jimmyhouston.com and see where all of that is. We will list those on the internet as well. But golly, everything is just going super. Chris just had a great time at church today. She's getting better all the time. She still can't walk, still can't use her right hand, but she is getting better all the time because y'all are still praying for her. I pray for her every day. I know some of y'all do too. And even if you don't pray for her every day, I know some of you are praying for her every now and then, and I appreciate that so much. And she's here at the ranch with me all the time, and that's just absolutely fantastic. Goes on several personal appearances with me, and it just couldn't be any better. Guys and girls, have you a great week coming up here. Have you a great Sunday afternoon. And remember, I sure do love you.